What's going on, Red Nation? No matter what nation you're in, my name is David Delano, and this is Rockets Daily. Brought to you by Fan Arch. We got meaningful basketball to talk about here. Thank you so much to everyone overseas who watches this show. And for those of you in the United States, for those of you who may not know, you probably know that the NFL, American football, is kind of a big deal over here. Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles starting on Thursday night. But I've got some basketball to talk about that people outside the U.S. may be overlooking, but some very, very high level basketball going on in the EuroBasket. And we've been talking about this matchup between Alperen Sengun and also Nikola Jokic, Serbia versus Turkey. And that matchup finally happened. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into it here on Rockets Daily. Keep the comments coming. Go ahead, like, subscribe if you think that anytime this season that you might want to chime in and get some information on the Rockets, some recaps on games, trade rumors, anything else, or even a place where you can chime in on your thoughts for the Houston Rockets and have your voice heard, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. We're welcome. Thank you so much for being here. So let's go ahead and get into this matchup between Serbia and Turkey. Serbia came into this matchup favored, but it was a Turkish team advancing to the round of 16 as the number one seed, winners in Group A with the 95-90 win. Sengun finished with 28 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists. Jokic on the other side had 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. And Turkey now looking like a real medal favorite at this point. A big thing here for Sengun, couple things. A big steal late in the basketball game, about a minute and a half left. This game was tied at 90 at the end. So he made some big free throws down the stretch, went 4 for 5 from the line. And he hasn't been shooting a lot of threes in this tournament. But Alfie went 4 for 7 from three-point range in this matchup. Jokic went 2 for 6. So 36 points in the game, led all players with an efficiency score of 37. Jokic on the other side, efficiency rating of 31. And guys not really involved with the Rockets, but the guard play for Turkey was better in this one. Shane Larkin, 29 efficiency rating, played almost the entire game. 23 points for Larkin. 5 for 8 from 3, 9 assists, 23 points, 9 assists. Shane Larkin, we've talked about, probably a guy, despite his size and despite being 32 years old, who could help the Rockets. But he's one of the highest paid players overseas, making just under, I believe, under $5 million a year over there. And son of the baseball Cincinnati Red Hall of Famer Barry Larkin, was a very good basketball player at the University of Miami. Shane Larkin was, but he's over on the Turkish team helping Sengun out, and Cedi Osman, also a guy who I think the Rockets should probably kick the tires on, seeing if it's possible. Although not sure how many minutes he would get compared to what he's getting overseas. He has been strong in this tournament, and I've talked about Cedi, a strong career with the Cleveland Cavaliers in a season with the San Antonio Spurs not long ago. He went 6 for 10 from the floor, 4 for 7 for 3, and Cedi finished with 16 points in this game. So, but Sengun leading the way once again, 28 point, 13 rebound effort, and you love to see that against Jokic. So, next, number one seed in the field of 16, Turkey is going to play on Saturday. And we will dive into that. And as we look at what Sengun's done and getting excited about it, as far as wondering where does he rank? Where does he rank? And you see him there with Cedi Osman. Where does he rank really with Kevin Durant's all-time teammates? This is going to be a situation where Kevin Durant's never played with a guy like Sengun. Obviously, we're ranking the teammates all time. If we're just being real about what we've seen at this point, you've got to say, of course, Steph Curry. There's a debate on who was really the best player on that team, is Durant's best teammate. But after that, I mean, when you look at, early on, a young James Harden, Russell Westbrook, at times weren't really the best fit. So when you look at obviously Devin Booker, even, but as far as when you start to look at fit, now at just 23 years old, is Sengun going to be possibly the best part of a duo that Durant has had in his career? So that's definitely something to think about. And let me know where you. I'm really excited though. I will say after this EuroBasket, seeing what Sengun's been doing. Obviously, we understand the type of player he is, but seeing him playing at this high of a level early on is very, very encouraging. Even against Jokic, he's been dominating this, and it'll be interesting if Turkey can go ahead and run the table and win this whole thing. Only thing you concerns you a little bit as Rockets fans. We're talking about this on September 4th. That'll still have enough in the tank in June, but I think that that's such a big deal. Where it makes it making even more sense now with the Steven Adams re-signing of Steven Adams, and even bringing over Clint Capella, which a lot of people did not expect, because that depth at center is going to be desperately needed to keep us Sengun fresh. Now, as we get into our Rockets history, this 2004-2005 season. We talked about this yesterday at the end of the 2003-2004 season. First season with Jeff Van Gundy running the show, and it was interesting because that was the last year of the Steve Francis era, and the last year also of the Cuttino Mobley era in Houston. Made a big trade with the Orlando Magic that brought over Tracy McGrady. So the Tracy McGrady era began in the 2004-2005 season for the Rockets. Ty Lue also was on the team. Wasn't a superstar, but when you look at what he's done as a coach, definitely worth a memorable career, the guys he's played with. But Tracy McGrady led the way this season during the regular season, 25.7 points per game, played in 78 out of 82 games. All starts in the games for McGrady, 32.6% from three, 6.2 rebounds per game. He had Yao Ming, who started 80 games that year, 18.3 points per game, 8.4 rebounds. The veteran Jim Jackson that season was traded throughout. It was traded during the season, so only played 24 games, 13.3 points. There was definitely some moves going on. And what I mean by that, Rockets got off to a 6-11 start. Traded Jim Jackson to the New Orleans Hornets for David Wesley. Now, the biggest thing with this season that's going to stand out the most is this is going to be the year. This was the season of the Tracy McGrady 13 points in 35 seconds on December 9th against the San Antonio Spurs in the fourth quarter. 44 seconds left. Rockets trailed the Spurs 76-68. And then Tracy McGrady, with 35 seconds left, made a three 4 seconds later after Devin Brown was fouled and made both of his free throws with 24 seconds left. McGrady made another three. He was fouled by Tim Duncan when he shot the ball, and then he went to the free throw line, made the free throw. And with 16 seconds remaining, Scott Padgett intentionally fouled Duncan because the Rockets were over the foul limit. Duncan went to the free throw line. He made both free throws, and 5 seconds later, McGrady made another three. This time on Bruce Bowen. This left the Rockets in a 2-point deficit. San Antonio took a timeout at just under 8 seconds left, 7.9 seconds left. And Brent Barry inbounded the ball to Devin Brown. McGrady stole the ball from Brown and ran to the 3-point line, where he made another three, which would be the game-winning shot. And this is considered really one of the greatest highlights of McGrady's career, and really an iconic moment in Rockets history, and really in scoring history. 13 points in 35 seconds for Tracy McGrady. Rockets went 51-31 this season, went fifth seed in the Western Conference, played the 4 seed Dallas Mavericks in the first round of the playoffs, and disappointing because Houston took the first two games, 98-86 and 113-111, and both of those games were played in Dallas. So Houston went on the road, won the first 2 games. And then the Rockets would lose the next 3, including 2 in Houston. Rockets would win down 3-2, would win game 6 in Houston, but then ultimately would drop game 7 in Dallas. And that was an ugly one. Game 7, 116-76 was the score in that game for the Rockets, which was frustrating. McGrady went 10 for 26 in that game. Finished with 27 points. Yao Ming played his ass off. Had 33 points, 10 rebounds on 13 to 23 shooting. Played 42 minutes for Yao Ming in that deciding game. 7 loss, but outside of Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady, and sometimes people get on Tracy McGrady's legacy. We're not going to get into the whole Tracy McGrady and Kobe thing right now, but you look at outside of Yao Ming and McGrady, who else was on the floor? David Wesley, Scott Padgett, Bob Sura, John Barry, top guy off the bench, Mike James. So Rockets definitely were lacking some depth in that matchup. But in that 7-game series at 25 years old, McGrady did average 30.7 points per game, 7.4 rebounds, 6.7 assists, shot just under 46% from the floor and 37% from 3. Yao Ming with 21.4 points per game in that playoff series, 7.7 rebounds. But third leading scorer for the Rockets was Mike James with 11.6 points per game. So not the strongest team after Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady, even though they definitely came to play, and then things just ran out in the final game. Anyway, that's the recap of the 2004-2005 season, not last season. Thanks so much for watching Rockets Daily. Chime in anywhere that you'd like to. Let me know if you've been watching any of this EuroBasket. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you if you subscribe. God bless and be safe out there.